I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with Oscar nominee Mayas Rubeo, costume designer for Marvel's WandaVision. First of all, Mayas, I must say, I could not possibly imagine having more work to do on a show for a costume designer than WandaVision. I mean, honestly, you had to cover so much. But before we get into the technical side of it, I just would love to know, this show is like a game changer for Marvel and it's become a phenomenon. And I'd love to know what you think about the show now that it's been on for a while and it's become so popular.
I think, all of us had high expectations on WandaVision. When we started the show, we thought it was a very smart new television film, project, because everybody calls it television, in reality streaming, but also it doesn't change. For me, it's a film, and film is a film, it's a project, it's something that you're not gonna put less energy on it. But we had the opportunity to read all the episodes, and it was, oh boy, I think we spent probably 2 weeks just trying to get into the web of the connections with the episodes and how we were going to connect them, and how, what does that mean? Many things are, although I consider myself part of the MCU family, it's such a universe that it's difficult to know everything about it, especially how every diaspora of characters, go into the to contribute to that universe is so intricate. But what it did is after we we dissolved all the intrication of it, it was time to plan a very good visual impact, and how would we be working with every episode and throughout the whole plan of the episode. So what I brought to the table was also my knowledge about, because it was based on American sitcom, the same ones I grew up watching, just like Wanda. I grew up watching Bewitched, and I love Lucy and the Monster Family and the Beverly Hills Rich, and so on and so forth. I was part of that, except that it was in Spanish. So then when I moved to the United States, I started to really help me to learn English better, because it was like, oh my God, that's what it means. That's what it means. This is what it all means. So it was, and also because I'm a visual person, all these, costumes and designs got into my head, and I thought, what kind of styles could be good for Wanda or Vision, or in the 60s, in the 70s. So I started to make my proposal. I mean, we sketch a lot. We did so many sketches. And in our pre-visualization meetings, we will go through it and we will talk about it. And, my director, Matt Shackman, and my producers, Kevin Feige, and writers, we will all talk about it. And, why don't we change this a little bit? And why, oh, this is perfect. We should just go ahead and build this. And then I am a huge fan of using real vintage fabric when you're creating a vintage costume. And that really helps a lot, when you're making something with the real fabric, it's gonna fall in the same way you imagine, or stay in the same way that you imagine, like the 60 dresses for Wanda, is we got the dress that it was the housewife dress and the dinner dress, and they were made with the wonderful, vintage fabric, and it makes a difference. Yeah. The
Absolutely.
same for the 60s and all of that. It was really, really, a key thing for me. When we did the black and white, it was important to talk with director of photography because he had been working in techniques to apply into the black and white, episodes. And also, in fact, Technicolor had made, some lenses just for our shows, just so we can have the same kind of visual. They adapt these lenses to the new cameras that we were using. So all of that, everyone was working so hard to catch up, how to keep it marble, because that's the important thing. Marble has a trademark, style. And I respect that a lot. And so I take my designs and apply them to the marbleized situation, and then we build it, and that works. It works really well, It's
absolutely.
It's really,
It's amazing.
Ask me some questions from your kids, because I'm very curious to hear what you say.
Well, my two kids are so obsessed with this show. They've watched it like twice and they want to watch it again. And the costumes was such an important part of their enjoyment. And not just them, lots of kids. And I was thinking, for example, let's talk about the Marvel aspects for a little while. The dress that you did for Agatha Harkness, beautiful flowing purples, and I think there's tulle in there. I'm not quite sure. But it moves so beautifully when she's up on the crane. Talk us through that design.
So it was all based in mystery. She is a character that you want to trust, but you also want to be very cautious about it. Something about her. I wanted to portray layers in her costume. I knew that she was going to do wire works, and that gave me an opportunity to really show many layers. I mean, I did like maybe 10 layers of fabric that each one has a mission. One of them is it's like going into the dark forest, right? When you zoom in into these many levels of her dress, it's like the hex, if you know what I mean. It has so many layers of things, and I wanted to have those kind of textures with her. I use again fabrics from my collection because I love it, and pleated incredible, fabrics that reacted with the movement, almost like in a Medusa kind of way. Purple was important because, and green and dark because of forest, because the mystery. Then for the rest of the show, she wore black and white, and also a medallion that I designed. The medallion is very important. It's almost it's the one article that is ominous. It's this accessory. If you look at it closely, it has 3 ladies, and usually these kind of cameos are portray 3 ladies that are the 3 graces. But because she's a witch, and witches come in 3, those were the 3 witches that she was getting burnt at the stake. And that, and she brought that with her throughout every character. Maybe 1 or 2 changes didn't fit because like when she was doing aerobics, I didn't know where to put that.
I was going to ask you about the aerobic outfit because that's a good one. I didn't see any medallion with that. So,
but then she worried from day one. You know, when that obnoxious knock on the door, when everything is like beautiful and soft, and suddenly this black and white thing comes through the door with like incredible grit, bam, black and white like that in your face. That's Agatha. That's Agatha. Yeah. And Agatha is the uncomfortable neighbor, the obnoxious, the
great
coming
character.
at the worst. Yeah, great character. But she is the reality, and she is what is gonna come to you. So she's the messenger of like oh no, I have here to tell you that this is gonna be not a good thing if you keep doing this. So it's such a well-written, piece of cinematic world that I was all of us were. I mean, I say, why does it have to be limited series? And they said, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
So let's talk more about some other books, because otherwise we'll run out of time. I also my kids and many other kids are desperate to talk about the Scarlet Witch book at the end, because that was so anticipated. Yeah. And you teased us with the Halloween outfit, the Sokovian fortune teller, but by the end you redesigned, rebooting that Scarlet Witch look. Can you talk us through that beautiful crown?
When I work with Marvel, Marvel comes with a very talented group of concept artists that are, in-house concept artists, and this is how it is. And they also work very closely with Kevin Feige, who is like the engine creativity of all of us. I mean, the man has so much, creation in his mind that, is good that he is supported by Andy Park, which is an amazing artist. And they pre-concept this. And then with both of us help, did the final product. He has done such a good, thorough, work with the concept. Then I took it to be executed with a costume, specialty costume house that I trust very much because they have incredible techniques. It's called Ironhead Studios with Mr. Jose Fernandez, artist extraordinaire. And I go there often because I trust them and they understand what I have to do. We did it at Ironhead, and it was really, really good idea because look at the results. I mean, she looks amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's such a great look. Let's talk about a few more looks. Like you talked about the early sitcom years, like the Dick Van Dyke episode, the Bewitched episode. So the black and white meant that you had to use a certain color of fabric. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I mean, you have to be in constant communication with the production design. It's just so your, costumes don't disappear in the blend of the same color. It almost happened in the kitchen, and I had to make some arrangements with the Wanda costumes. I drew the outline of her collar and her buttons, and that gave it, because it was almost too bland. It was really, really, a good alert for me. And I said, oh, they have to know everything. But also, with the help of my iPhone, if you take a picture of a fabric and then you put it in mono, it's gonna give you exactly the same shade of gray you're gonna be looking at when you're working in black and white. Mm-hmm. So that was that simple thing. Like if we go, fabric, choosing, you're gonna go. I'm gonna show you with this. It's very easy. I mean, you just take a picture of your photo, then you're gonna go into the this is my scarf. It's a little bit out of focus, but if you go into the mono, then it's gonna go really, really. I mean, I can do it now, I know, but you know what I mean. It goes into the black and white, and that's exactly what it's gonna be. The shades that you need. So it's very interesting, very interesting. I always wanted to do black and white, so I'm very, very happy that I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about the 1970s episode, The Partridge Family, Brady Bunch? There's a lot of great 70s looks in that. That would have been a lot of fun, right?
A lot of fun. So there was two parts. One, the big scenes and where her tummy grows. My textile locator, Susan Anderson, brought this fantastic vintage fabric from some, cave in the downtown LA or something. And she said, look, I find 30 meters of this. And I said, that is going to be the dress. That is going to be the dress. And the moment that I saw the fabric, I already designed it in my head. And that's the dress that stayed. Because, as her tummy grew, the front part of the dress will open and revealing her big tummy. And that works so well for the gag of the, of like growing too fast the tummy. Then the second part was all the montage that, we created all those like very, 1970s happy, Partridge Family, bell bottoms and plaids and big long coat, vest and ruffles and so much fun. Amazing. Yeah. That along with her makeup was amazing. And also, can we talk about Vision in his 70s?
Incredible work
his inspiration. His inspiration was like the 3 Days of Condor of Robert Redford. And I said, I'm for that. Yeah, I like it. And we did it. He was like Robert Redford throughout all the 70s. Funny. It was so great.
I know, right? God, it just sounds like so much fun. And then you had like the 80s stuff, like you mentioned that aerobics outfit that Catherine Hahn wears. That is just so funny. It's so perfect. Pitch perfect.
Pitch perfect. And her moves also were so great.
Yeah,
what an opportunity, huh? I mean, half like the half century of the 90 the last century would be the 20th century is so great, so great.
You
we didn't do 90s.
You didn't do 90s. Yeah, that's right. You went straight to the early 2000s. That's all right. But you also, I mean, if anyone looks at your credits, they can see you've done a lot of really impressive genre work. John Carter, Avatar, World War Z, obviously Thor Ragnarok, one of your most popular works so far. And you're currently in Australia working on Love and Thunder. I wish you could tell us everything. I'm sure it's going to be colourful and amazing. So why do you love genre? Why do you love it so much? What is so good about working in fantasy and sci-fi?
Why do I like working so much in costumes? I say it, in every interview, is because it allows me to have a variety and a daily challenge, a daily thing to, to go for, and different approaches and different time eras and different textures and different kind of, sometimes failures, but it is exactly what I need in my life, this job, because I'm a person that it needs to be constantly challenged, creatively challenged, and I couldn't ask for more. I don't know what else. I mean, I could do if I wasn't going to be a costume designer. I don't know, because it suits me perfectly.
And you're and you're fortunate that you've been able to work within the MCU, and it looks like that they want to keep you around. So you must have done something right. My final question Yeah, very
Yeah.
lucky. My final question is this. Now, before you become an Emmy winner, because I think that's going to happen, you will always be known as Oscar nominee Mayes Rubeo for Jojo Rabbit. And I wanted to know how you felt about getting that Oscar nomination.
It was very meaningful because I had very humble beginnings into my career. I went to Los Angeles Straight Tech, which is technical community college in Los Angeles. Didn't have the money to go to FIDEM or Otis Parson or like that. I would have liked it, but maybe it did me good, so I can use another engine force on me to make me reach out to do better and to get more creative and more cultural and visit every museum and every painting, admire every painting in the world that portrayed costumes. But it was it was meaningful. Would have, I think to be recognized for an effort, we do many, and many of us do many. I mean, I know so many costume designers don't get recognition, but for the work they do, and it's amazing. But in my case, it was good, and it was a good timing. We were under, the tyranny of Donald Trump. I am Mexican. This meant a lot for me in my country and my family, and made many, many people proud. And that made me feel very good. It made me feel like a good wife, a good sister, a good citizen, a good Mexican, a good daughter, and a good, costume designer. And that, even if it lasted 15 minutes, I will never regret that.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly said. And of course, for working for Taika Waititi, you're currently working for him again. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen again. We'll see. But in the meantime,
we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I love Taika. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so talented. But for Wanda, I just really wanted to say, Mayes, congratulations on some really stunning work, and good luck for your for Love and Thunder. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Thank you, Robert. You're so sweet. Give a big kiss to your children. I make me so happy that you told me they like.